Let's put together our sign-in, shall we? We have everything set here. We have home. Let's go to our, where's my sign-in? Register I don't need. There we go. Okay, anyway. We have our sign-in ready. Let's now put it together. I don't need you anymore. And I don't need you. And we're going to need you. Where is my, well, let's just open it up again. Okay, anyway. Now, we know how to get everything that we need. Let me just get rid of that. We know how to get everything we need, but we have to do it differently with the login. As I said, FuelPHP does have authentication. Apparently, it is very, what do you call it? It's very secure. The only thing with their authentication is like pretty much everybody's authentication, unless it's Laravel or CodeIgniter where you make it on your own, more or less, you have to put together your user table in a specific way for it to work. Otherwise, there'll be different rows and stuff that it's going to be looking for that if you don't have, it's not going to work. So, I mean, it's really not that big a deal. We're just going to, and like I said, if things don't run right, then, if things don't run right, then you got to fix it in ways that are just foreign to you, so we're not going to do that. We're going to do our own. I like doing my own, because if things don't work, then I can fix them. But we got to get our arrows ready, and then we go here, and I want to make sure that it's there. You'll also see that we don't really need, in this site, we don't really need like access to certain things because basically everything is universal. You'll see what I mean. Again, we're not doing profiles and stuff, so you couldn't, there's no way you could go to somebody else's profile or anything. Like we don't have them. So we don't really need that. I mean, I guess to not have you log in again, but really since we're using cookies, if you tried that, it's going to already save the original user ID and stuff. So, all right, anyway, we have our errors ready. Just make sure they don't show up, and there you go. Now, we are going to go here. We set up the errors. Now it's time to make our queries. And the way we do it is we go, okay, so let's say, if, as we did before, input, post, I think it's sign in, right? We have to tell the framework that if somebody posts, the sign in submission, we have to do something. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to say cur user equals, what are we getting? The model user class, and we're going to run a query in that model user class where username equals post username. And we want to get 1. Now before we do this, I have to do the validation. I forgot, sorry. Login, we'll just call login equals validation. And forge. We're going to forge a validation, and then we're going to go log in. Add field, all right, username, and then our rules required, min length. Do we need a min length? If it doesn't match, it's not going to work. Max length 60. And then we're going to go log in, add field, password, password, and we'll just say required. Again, if it's not going to match, it's not going to match. If you only put one character in there, it's not going to match because you already forced them to put in at least 8 or what have you. Let me just make sure I got the names right. Username, username. Now, we're going to say if login run, okay, and then we're going to do these checks. Else, we're going to have data user error equal sign in error username and data pass error equal sign in error password. You want to see if it works so far? I misspelled it again. Oops, wrong one. Oh, login. Oh, I'm sorry. All you had to do was look up. That's all you had to do. Look up. Didn't have to do much. Okay. Always hit enter in the URL area, because if you don't, then, oh yeah, you know what I forgot to do? If you don't, then it's going to ask you, I mean, you could hit refresh or whatever, and it'll ask you if you want to resubmit. Set message. Required. Okay. Oh, I didn't send the data out. My fault. Now, try that again. And there you go. Don't forget to send the data out. So, okay, we already know that it works when we have nothing in there, but now we need to find out if it works when we have information in there. So like what I was doing before, query user, we get the class model user query, put the query together. Now, if, no, I could go, if count cur user is less than 1, wait, I always forget if, okay. Looks like an array to me, but it's actually an object. If current user count is less than 1, so if it can't find the current user, can't find the username based on the input that we've posted, then we are going to make data user error equal to that's not a valid fucking username. And password error, we don't have to do anything. It's already established, set. Else, now we go else if not password verify. And what was the order of it again? I always forget what the order of it is. Okay, so it's the input and then, all right, okay. No. Input, post, password, cur user password. Right, that's good. If that's not equal, then data pass error equals that password is invalid. Else, if everything goes well, then we just go cookie set ID equals cur user ID, cookie set role cur user role, and then we response with a redirect home. Now, let me just make sure I did that right. Yep. Okay, simple overview. Here we go. Set the variables for the errors to nothing, because if they are not set to nothing, it'll complain that there are no data errors or whatever here. Then get the information, validate, make sure that the forms are not empty, or the fields are not empty. Set the message if you want. If not, go with the robotic default error message. It's up to you. So if everything checks out, we check the user via this query in the model user context or class, and then we check to see if there is a username that fits whatever we put in there. If not, we give you an error. And then if there is this username, if you do find it, then check the password that you got from cur user. And if that doesn't work out, then we back out. But if it does, we make the cookies. So now let's just see if it works. If it does, we should be going to the home page. So let's put in a username that's just BS. Let's put in BS. Yeah, well, we could just do that, and we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Cur user equals model query where username. When it says null, that means it's not actually. Hold on a second. Means it's like no, there's nothing in there. This is my old one. But why is it null? Hold on a second. It shouldn't be null. There are users in there. I think, you know, I guess because of the fact, yeah, that's true. That doesn't make sense. Okay, hold on. Try to be quick about it. There we go. Yeah, let's not do that yet. Let's do it like that. Let's do it like the way I did before. If model user query where username. The reason is because you're at this point you're assuming that you already found something, but if you put in bad information, then you didn't find anything. Count is less than 1. Else we'll go cur user equals model user. Again, I do it correctly, and then I don't do it correctly when I'm presenting it to all of you. That's why I keep my stuff. Okay. This way, like I was saying before, this is the query that we're running. But if it doesn't find anything, then it will be null because it didn't find anything. So that's why you can't assume. All right, let's try BS again. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. I didn't put that in there. It said max length. No, I guess you're doing it for everyone. All right, fine. Well, then again, then do I even have to do? All right, whatever. BS, jackass. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Username is invalid. Now let's put my username and let's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Password is invalid. And then we put in the right password. And there we go. Oh, no wonder why I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry. This was the other one. I'm sorry. Well, this is what we want it to look like. Okay, my fault. Let's try that again. BS 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Valid password. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Valid password's invalid. And then we'll try that again. And there we go. Okay. Confused myself for a second. Oh, there you go. That's our username. Well, that's our ID anyway. And I'm only 15 minutes, despite the fact I was looking at the wrong thing. But we don't really need this anymore. The welcome is done. We don't need it. We're done. So we'll get out of that. And we already know that the logout system works, right? Because we went like this. And we were brought back here. And if, like I said before, if we go back to home, it is going to be empty because we don't have an ID. So now if we go back to public and we sign back in. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. You can make your own administrative side, whatever. I'm going to go here and I'm going to edit the U and I'm going to call it A and say that I'm an administrator. And the reason is because we're going to be doing some things. Now, with that being said, let's log out for a minute. And let's sign in as, let's check in as somebody new. So let's try this out. Let me put my information in. And then we'll just do 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Let's make sure the unique rule works. Yep. Now we could change that, but you know, whatever. So you know that the unique rules do work. Validation rule unique fail. I want to change that message though. That's ridiculous. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Anyway, I mean, if you're making a site for yourself and you're following along and everything, and you decide to try to use the same email address whenever and it pops you out with that error message, you deserved it. So let's come up with some of my favorite names. We've got Jack Mehoff. Yeah, we'll do the capital. And then we'll just go Jackie at Hotmail, and then we'll do Jack Mehoff. And then we'll go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And we'll go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Register him. He's number 10. And if we look, number 10 has a credit card and number 10 has a billing address. Okay, so there we are. That's all set. Let's log Jack out. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want you to see what happens when we have an administrator logged in and what happens when we have a regular user logged in. Now, we're going to do some stuff with this template. Okay, we're not going to just have this. I know, it's thrilling, it is, but we're going to do a little bit more. As we've done before, we're going to go assets, the asset class. And you know what happens when you asset, you make an ass of you in ed. Let me see, so you got CSS, and we are going to do header.css. We're going to do main.css. And we are going to do pages.css. And put those in there. We're also going to do JS. And we're going to have pages.js. And we're going to have header.js. On top of that, you want to have a title. And the title we're going to have, in order to maintain some semblance of search engine optimization, the site is called Facazon, because why the fact not? And then in there we're going to put a title variable in there. And yeah, that's all we needed for that. So now if we hit save and we hit refresh, I know I didn't make it yet, all right? Fucking thing. Anyway, so let's make those pages before it keeps having a heart attack. JS, we don't have pages. If I put Bootstrap in there, it would be okay, but we're not going to be using that. Pages, and then header. So if we hit refresh, dude, come on, make it. I don't have all day with you. Piece of shit. Can you please make the stupid... I don't care! Thank you. I know I didn't define it yet. Calm down. We're going to do that. Anyway. The title, head, and the body, again, is just content. But above the body, we have to make our header. Now, I want to go home. Just so that this thing stops complaining, what you would do is you would also go this template title. That's the name of the title. And we're going to say that the title variable we're going to name shop. No, welcome. Welcome. That's what I mean. We'll just keep it like that. So the title variable, excuse me, is going to be welcome. And there you have it. And then you see we have this and we have welcome and we're ready to go. So picky. Freaking frameworks. Now, time for some CSS HTML magic. Here we go. Ready? I know you're very excited. The nav class will be called main nav. Thanks for doing that, by the way. Sometimes it likes to respond. I don't know why. And what we want is we want that header that we have here. We want the logo here. We want the search thing here. We want that there. And we want that there. Excuse me. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a div class logo. No, not the class logo. Div class main logo. And it's just going to be the logo, which is ahref will be here. Public. And we are going to class this as logo. And we're just going to call it Fakazon. That's it. Next div will be the search. Main search. Oh, now you don't want to work, see? I see what's going on, you bastard. Main search, and we're going to have a couple of things. First, we're not going to have a form. We don't need a form. Everything is going to be specifically JavaScript. If you want to do a form, we can. Not a big deal, but we'll just put a form in there. No. You know why? Because I already styled the forms. I don't want to do that again. Input type equals text, class equals main input, ID equals search items. That's for the JavaScript. On key press. Yeah, on key press equals search item. And I think that's all I need, right? Oh, yeah, no, I don't need a name. Poop. And then beneath it, we're going to make another div, which we're going to, no, we're going to just give it an ID. Nah, we'll class it. Main search area. And we're going to ID it as search area. And that's all we're going to put in there. That's it. That's the middle spot. Now, then we're going to go class main user. So we're going to use that cookie. And all we're going to have for the main users, the actual users, we're going to have their first name, which of course we're going to have to define. Let's go back here. And let's go cur user equals model user like we did before when we did the search, when we did the login. Where username, but now we're going to, where ID, I'm sorry, ID, and we're going to say cookie get ID. And we're going to say get one, so we can just get one of those. And then we're going to say that this template, and we're going to have a variable called first name equals cur user first name. The reason is because on Amazon you have a first name and they say welcome whatever, so we'll have that too. And we'll just go main user and we'll say that this is we'll say it's a link equals JavaScript. JavaScript, when you do that with a link, it means it doesn't actually link to anything. It just kind of, you click on it and does whatever. And class, we'll just say main link. Main nav link, I guess. And we'll say hi, and we'll go first name. We'll close that off. And then beneath this will be a div class of div ID, div ID of user drop. Let's call it that. Okay, you did close that. Why did you wait? Hold on. What are you doing? No, you didn't close that out. Fuck. Where are we at in terms of time now? Come on. I will. Now let me finish this one thing. The user drop. Put this over here, and we'll just do a UL unordered list. And then that will have an li, ecom, public, user, and we'll go cookie get ID. This way we don't have to define it, or you could just define it with in the templating. And we'll go address. We're not there yet, and but we'll get there, and we'll go change address, and then we'll have another one. Then we'll go like this. If cookie get role equals a, put that in there, and we'll close out the if, and then down here we'll just go li, a href equals ecom public log out. And when I come back, we'll do the administrative header. The only thing on the right side is the cart, which again we'll come back to when I return in just a second.